Oh, sorry. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular public meeting. I call to order the regular meeting of the Bogota Borough of Education on Tuesday, February 25th of 2025 at 7 p.m. Please stand for the flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands,
of the nation under God, indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Maybe, maybe.
The New Jersey Open Publics Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend the meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Bogota Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place therefore posted in the Bogota Borough Hall, communicated by the letter to the record, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Bogota, and posted, excuse me, on the Bogota Board of Education website. Irfan, please call the roll.
Sure. Ms. Alcalde,
Here.
Mrs. Alvarez, absent. Mr. Alvarez,
Present.
Mrs. Cruz, absent. Mr. Navarro,
Present.
Mrs. Oliva,
Present.
Ms. Rackett,
Present.
Mr. Chavez,
Present.
Mr. Miranda is absent. We have the quorum.
Also present are Superintendent Damian Kennedy, Board Attorney Thomas Coben, School Business Administrator, Board Secretary Irfan Efsil, Assistant Board Secretary
She's not.
Elizabeth Ruiz is not here. Student Representative Joanna Morales is here. Can we open the floor on hearing of the citizens on agenda items only? Do I have a motion? Alvarez?
Second.
Alvarez, second. Adriana. Any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there is any member of the public who would like to address the agenda items only, please come forward. Speakers, please state your name and address. You have 5 minutes. Forward. Okay. Is there a motion to close hearing of citizens agenda?
Motion.
Motion. Alvarez, second. Perfect. Any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
oppo- Moving on to section 3.1 of the agenda. Superintendent's report. Is there any report, Mr. Kennedy?
Yes. First up, I'd like to have our student rep, Joanna Morales, speak on her report first.
Good afternoon, members of the board. This month has been an exciting and eventful time at BHS with many updates and accomplishments to share. First, we are thrilled to announce that 3 of our track and field athletes have advanced to the Group 1 state champions, which will take place this Sunday in Toms River, New Jersey. Their dedication and hard work have paid off, and we wish them the best of luck. In addition, Mr. Chang and the Environmental Club have been making strides towards promoting sustainability. They have introduced large recycling bins in the cafeteria and conducted a demonstration for periods 4 through 6, educating students on what can and should be recycled. The BCC STARS program also hosted an assembly for the top 15 sophomores, juniors, and seniors who have earned free tuition due to their academic achievements. We are incredibly proud of their success and commitment to their education. In Dr. Murphy's AP Psychology class, students will be visiting Scene School to conduct an experiment on the law of conservation and object permanence with local kindergartner students, an exciting hands-on learning opportunity. This Friday, our seniors will be heading to Kalahari Resorts and Water Park for a fun and memorable trip to cap off their high school experience. Last week, we celebrated our winter sports team with the pep rally, honoring our basketball, bowling, track and field, and wrestling athletes for their hard work and achievements. Finally, we'd like to extend a special thank you to the BHS Art Club for painting barrels that will be used in the community garden. Their creativity is helping to beautify our school and surrounding areas. Thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to keeping you updated on all the exciting developments at BHS.
Thank you. First up, under HIB, I have two HIB reported, one at Steen that is unfounded and one at the high school that is founded. Notice has been sent out, but just to reiterate, there will be a redistrict meeting scheduled for March 6th at 6:30. This will be a virtual meeting and a link will be shared shortly with the community. But we would just like to, we figure we get more people virtually than having people come to a building. So we're going to share information and where our plans are as an administrative team. We've been meeting weekly. I also met with the teachers, and I know Bixby had their first staff meeting with their new staff for next year. So things are progressing. Next week is Read Across America. All board members should have received emails from Bixby and Steen asking you if you'd like to participate. If you did not get that email, please let me know. But we're looking for guest readers, and it's always great when the board can come in and do that. Spring Musical is scheduled for March 14th and 15th. Be on the lookout for that. Also tonight on the agenda, we have two teachers that have been in district, Mrs. Shepherd and Mrs. Martinez, who are retiring. Mrs. Martinez, I had the opportunity of working with as her vice principal and principal. And Mrs. Shepherd was actually the BEA president when I became superintendent. So I got very close, and she actually helped me start my superintendency by working with the BEA, and we've had a very successful relationship since then. So I want to thank them both for their time and dedication to the town of Bogota and the students. Shout out to our building and grounds department. We've been very fortunate. We haven't used any snow days. We know March can be a little tricky, but I love the idea that it's going to be March 1st. This 50s all the rest of this week is going to be March 1st next week. And we haven't used a snow day, so we have 3 snow days to give back, hopefully. And then also I want to give a really thank the school community. We did a dress down day a couple weeks ago for the school families that were affected by the fire. And Bogota school community teachers and students raised over $9,000 to divide evenly to the children that were affected on that, to help with supplies, clothing, and just overall helping in any way that they can see fit. So that was really a great experience to see the community come together. I know the town did a lot of stuff, but when we handed the checks to the families affected, it was an emotional moment for them. And it was emotional for me as well, seeing them having a bad situation, but they were so happy to be in Bogota and having the community come together to help them. So again, kudos to all on that. That ends my report.
Mr. Kennedy, on the virtual redistricting thing that went out, the banner says 6:30, but the body says 7.
Okay.
I have to change that.
So on the,
On that flyer, the banner says 6:30, but if you read the body of it, it says 7.
all right, I'll make sure we get communication out again tomorrow. Thanks.
Mr. Kennedy, thank you for your report. Joanna, you did an amazing job. To our teachers, Ms. Martinez and Mrs. Shepherd, thank you very much for their dedication and hard work for our schools. And kudos to the people, to all our school who actually helped these people that had the fire, which was amazing. I know a couple of kids and parents from there that are so grateful because the community really stepped up and they've never seen that amount of support anywhere else. So kudos to everyone for that. Moving on to resolution 4.3, which is the approval of the January 7th of 2025 reorganizational opens meeting minutes and the January 21st, 2025 regular opens meetings minutes. Is there a motion to approve resolution 4.3?
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
second, Markham. Any board discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Mrs. Oliva,
Yes.
Mrs. Trackett,
Yes.
Mr. Chavez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Under section 5, there are no policy resolutions at this time, so we are moving on to 6.6. Moving on to resolution 6.6 in the education section, which is for the approval of agendas items 6.1 through 6.5. Is there a motion to approve these resolutions?
Motion.
Motion Marco,
Second.
second BC. Any board discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Alcalde?
I have to abstain from 6.1, but yes, as to the rest.
Sure, thank you. Mr. Alvarez?
I actually have to abstain from 6.1 as well, but yes to all the others.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro?
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo?
Yes.
Mrs. Racket?
Yes.
Mr. Chavez?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Irvin, let's put them down as, I think recusals,
Mhm.
conflicted on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so recusal instead of abstention.
Recusal, okay.
There you go.
Just on.
Just
On
on just one
field
line item, right?
Field trip that they.
Yeah, yeah. And if they're separate things, so we still carry, well, if six,
But it's still recused.
yeah, it should be a recusal when you're conflicted. If you just don't want
Okay.
to vote, that's an abstention.
Okay.
So I'll change that. I'll amend that to say recusal on 6.1, yes
Got
on
it,
everything.
got it.
Same here.
Same, here. All right. Thank you.
Moving on to resolution 7.11 is the personnel section, which is for the approval of agendas items 7.1 through 7.10. Is there a motion to approve 7.11?
Motion.
Second,
Any board discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Alcalde?
yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Navarro?
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo?
Yes.
Mr. Racket?
Yes.
Mr. Chavez?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Moving on to resolution 8.9 in the finance section, which is the approval of the agenda items 8.1 through 8.8. Is there a motion to approve resolution 8.9?
Motion.
Mo-
Marco?
Again.
Second,
Alcalde? Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Alcalde?
yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Navarro?
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo?
Yes.
Mrs. Racket?
Yes.
Mr. Chavez?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Moving on to resolution 9.6 is the building and ground section, which is the approval of agenda items 9.1 to 9.5. Is there a motion to approve resolution 9.6?
Alvarez?
Alvarez? Second?
Alcalde,
Alcalde? Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Alcalde?
yes.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Mr. Navarro?
Yes.
Mrs. Olivo?
Yes.
Mrs. Racket?
Yes.
Mr. Chavez?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Moving on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports this evening?
I just have one. I attended the Bergen County School Board Association on Zoom, and just a couple of key points that they mentioned, because it was a meeting with the Assistant Commissioner of Education. So the governor passed a bill for transportation, which I'm just going to give the important point: electric school bus grant program, which hopefully will be a help to us. Temporary extension of school buses of service life for older school buses. School meals expansion for the working class. And there's other pending legislation that's pending. School security, they're trying to pass a bill for police presence during elections in the school property. They're also looking to see for school counselor requirements, type as school bus drivers, reform the high school graduation assessment requirements, Community School Pilot Programs Act, and a Preschool Placement at Child Care Providers Act. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Next on the agenda is old business, I'm sorry, and item 11.1. Is there any old business that would like to discuss? Any new business that we would like to discuss?
I think this is one thing I gotta point out, and I'm looking into it further. Originally on the calendar, I think I had July, the first Tuesday in July as the election date with the half day. I've been in communication, it appears to be the second week in July. So there will be a calendar, I mean,
June
June,
June
I'm
10th.
sorry,
I
June.
was gonna say.
Sorry.
yeah.
June 10th.
I'm like,
Yeah, I was
So
like,
there will be a change on that,
Okay.
obviously. And also the town is asking us to possibly use Steen School that day for the election. And if Steen School is used, then we might consider taking a day off that day because it'll just be too much, in and out of the buildings and Bixby the gym is closed off to the town where Steen, it's wide open with the schoolyard. So that's on the radar, just so people are aware, because I know I've gotten an email or two about it.
Moving on to section 13.1, so we can open the floor to hearings of the public. Is there a motion to open for the hearing of the public? Alvarez?
I'll call the second.
Okay. Is there any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any- Is there any member of the public who would like to address the board? Speakers, please state their name or state the address, right?
no.
No address, okay. You have 5 minutes.
Bueller.
No? Is there a motion to close hearings of the public?
Alvarez?
I'll call the.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Executive session. And I guess, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Alvarez?
I'll call the.
Okay. Thank you, guys. You have a great afternoon.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a great night, guys.
Have a good night, guys.